Deputy accused in shooting death of Sonya Massey worked for 6 agencies in 4 years. Records show. Sean Grayson is the Sangamon County deputy that fatally shot Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old black woman, when responding to a call that she put in that she was fearful someone might be lurking around her home. She was afraid. Now, Grayson, prior to any law enforcement, had been discharged from the military for what was listed as serious misconduct. Now, it wasn't a dishonorable discharge, but it was still more than enough to at least raise a red flag to anyone looking to hire him to be a deputy or a police officer, yet somehow he slipped in. The terminated Sangamon County Sheriff's Office deputy involved in the shooting death of a woman who called for 911 assistance worked at 6 different law enforcement agencies in the last 4 years. State records obtained by WGN's Next Star sister station show. Since August of 2020, Sean Grayson worked less than 1 year at the Auburn Police Department, 1 year at the Logan County Sheriff's Office, and then just over a year with the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. The records obtained by WCIA show he was also employed with police departments in Burton, Kincaid, and Pawnee. Are you that desperate for manpower that you keep picking this guy up, this same guy? Grayson was arrested twice for Class A misdemeanor DUIs, once in 2015 and once in 2016. Think about it like this. If you had a doctor, better yet, if you had a surgeon that worked for 6 hospitals in 4 years, would you trust them to operate on you? If you had a teacher that handled small children that worked for 6 schools in 4 years, would you trust them around your kids? If you had an engineer that worked for 6 agencies in 4 years, would you trust them to build a bridge in your city? So why would you have a cop that was clearly a liability from day one walking in? Why would you have him within your ranks skipping from house to house? There was all these red flags, and yet they still made him a deputy in Sangamon County, said James Wilburn, the father of Sonya Massey. Absolutely. Despite the liability, various agencies across the country are openly searching, they are openly hiring these junk cops, these scrap policemen, these broken deputies. Termination, no problem. Resignation, no problem. Our doors are wide open. Massey, 36, was killed in the early morning hours of July 6 after she called 911 to report a suspected prowler. She was scared. In body cam footage showing her final moments, Massey ducked and apologized to Grayson seconds before he shot the black woman 3 times in her home. You coward. With 1 fatal blow to the head. An Illinois grand jury indicted Grayson, 30, who was white, last week. He has pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. You were caught in high definition murdering a defenseless black woman in her own home. She only called because she was afraid. She actually felt better when you showed up, let you in. She trusted you. Pleading not guilty is nothing but extra disrespect to that woman and her family, you sorry bastard. The Sangamon County Sheriff's Office acknowledged to WCIA it knew about Grayson's 2 DUIs when it hired him. The county conducts criminal background checks on all employees before hiring them. What kind of background checks? The free trial versions. But the Sheriff's Office told WCIA it was not aware of any complaints of excessive force during Grayson's previous stints in law enforcement. It's easy to not be aware when you're not looking because you don't want to know, because knowing is a liability, but claiming that you don't know should not get you off the hook in this situation. WCIA says it has multiple Freedom of Information Act requests out to Grayson's previous employers for more information on his departures from previous jobs. According to WCIA, state records show he resigned and started new jobs shortly after leaving previous ones, sometimes the next day. Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, the people that hired this inbred mongoloid, are just as responsible for what took place, and claiming that you didn't know is not an excuse to get you off the hook for what this man did. County officials told WCIA that to their knowledge is a BS 3-word disclaimer. Grayson had not been fired from previous jobs. There's something to that. I'll let you know in a second. Grayson was fired from his job last week and is being held in the Sangamon County Jail without bond. If convicted, he faces prison sentences of 45 years to life for murder, 6 to 30 years for battery, and 2 to 5 years for misconduct. How many of you think within 6 months he'll tie a bedsheet around his neck and bungee jump? This is what I think. I really don't know. I'm not in law enforcement, but if you have officers within your ranks that are committing these type of infractions, it would be easier to tender their resignation and have some higher ups accept their resignation internally than to have a bunch of these reports in your file. You can go on ahead and be someone else's problem. What do you think?